The sound of your goodbye, like an old blues record playing after midnight. You took the future I had painted in my hands, left me with memories I never meant to keep. But some wounds don't bleed, they just teach the heart to breathe. When love leaves a scar, you learn who you are. You stop chasing shadows and count every star. I gave you my heart, you gave me the dark, but I found my way home. When love left a scar. I used to blame the moon for keeping me awake, blame every lonely road for every choice you made. Now I don't need an answer from a man who's gone. Some stories end quietly, and still they make us strong. I've lost what I loved, but I found what I was made of. When love leaves a scar, you learn who you are. You stop chasing shadows and count every star. I gave you my heart, you gave me the dark, but I found my way home. When love left the sky. Maybe we were never meant to last forever. Maybe forever was the lesson you left me. Some people come into your life like summer, then disappear before you see the leaves. When love leaves a scar, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you survived every word left unspoken. I gave you my heart, and I lost who we are. But tonight I can smile at the woman I became. When love left a scar. I don't miss you anymore. I miss who I was before you, and now she's gone too. I spent too many nights waiting by the door, giving you pieces I could never get back anymore. I called it love when I was losing me, held on so tight I couldn't breathe. Then one quiet morning I looked into my eyes and finally saw the woman I had left behind. So I chose myself when you walked away. I stopped begging yesterday to give me one more day. I loved you with everything I had left to give, but losing you taught me how to live. This time I chose myself. Your photograph is fading on the wall. Funny how memories grow smaller when you let them fall. I don't hate you, I don't need revenge. Some doors close softly so another life can begin. I thought I'd never make it through the silence of the night, but somewhere in the darkness I found my light. So I chose myself when you walked away. I stopped begging yesterday to give me one more day. I loved you with everything I had left to give, but losing you taught me how to live. This time I chose myself. I was a woman trying to be enough for someone who never knew how to love. Now I know my heart was never wrong. I was just singing my song to the one who couldn't hear it. So I chose myself, and I finally breathe. No more asking someone else to decide what I should be. I loved you with everything, but I won't disappear for anyone again, just to keep them near. Tonight I choose myself. And if you ever wonder where I went, I'm right here. home. There's a woman in the mirror. I almost don't recognize. She used to smile for everybody while she was breaking inside. She gave her heart like a promise. She gave more than she could give. Then one night she whispered softly, I forgot how to live. But the years have a way of telling the truth, and the pain I survived gave me back my youth. Now the woman in the mirror looks me in the eyes. She doesn't need your love to know she's still alive. She carries every scar like a story she can tell. She lost the man she loved, but she found herself in the woman in the mirror. I still hear your footsteps when the house gets quiet at night. For a moment I remember how your arms once felt right. But memories are only shadows, they can't hold me anymore. I've learned that sometimes leaving is the way you save your soul. I don't curse your name, I don't ask you why. Some goodbyes are blessings, wearing tears in disguise. Now the woman in the mirror looks me in the eyes. She doesn't need your love to know she's still alive. She carries every scar like a story she can tell. She lost the man she loved, but she found herself in the woman in the mirror. Maybe I was waiting for somebody to rescue me when the truth was standing there, waiting to be free. To be. Now the woman in the mirror is stronger than before. She doesn't fear the silence, she doesn't fear the door. She carries every star, but she wears them like gold. She lost the love of her life, but she finally found her soul in the woman in the mirror. I look into her eyes, and this time I don't look away. I saw your face in a crowded room for just 1 second, then you disappeared. Funny how a lifetime can pass so fast and leave the old memories standing here. You had a way of saying my name like nobody else ever knew how. I thought those days were buried deep, but I can feel them breathing now. Some loves don't die, they simply learn to hide. After all these years, you're still somewhere in my heart, not as a wound, but as a beautiful scar. I don't need you back, I don't need to know why. Some people stay forever, even after they say goodbye. I wonder if you ever think of me when the rain comes falling on your window. Do you remember that little cafe where we promised we'd never let go? We were young enough to believe that love could never change, but life has its own kind of mercy and teaches us to walk away. I don't regret the tears, they carried me through the years. After all these years, you're still somewhere in my heart, not as a wound, but as a beautiful scar. I don't need you back, I don't need to know why. Some people stay forever, even after they say goodbye. If I could meet you one more time, I wouldn't ask you to stay. I'd simply thank you for the love and let the rest fade away. Because some chapters end without being wrong, and some hearts keep singing long after the music is gone. After all these years, I can finally say your name without wishing for tomorrow, without carrying the blame. You were part of my story, but you were never all of me. Some people stay forever in the woman we become after they leave. After all these years, I hope you're doing fine. And somewhere in this old world, I hope you remember mine. Everybody sees the smile I wear. Nobody asked what's hiding there. I learned to laugh when my heart was breaking. Learned to dance while my soul was aching. I pour my coffee, I watch the rain. Some memories still whisper your name. But I've become good at carrying pain, like an old blues song I don't have to explain. Some battles are fought where nobody can see, and some of the strongest hearts cry silently. Nobody knows the tears I cried when you were gone. Nobody heard the silence that followed every song. I carried all those memories through every passing year, and somehow I kept walking, though nobody knew the tears. There were nights I almost called you just to hear you say hello. But pride isn't what stopped me. I finally learned to let you go. I don't blame you for the ending, and I don't blame myself anymore. Sometimes love can be beautiful, even when it can't survive. I gave you all my heart, I gave you all my years, but I won't give you the rest of my tears. Nobody knows the tears I cried when you were gone. Nobody heard the silence that followed every song. I carried all those memories through every passing year, and somehow I kept walking, though nobody knew the tears. If you see me smiling, don't think I never broke. I've walked through fire, and still I learned to hope. Every scar has a story, every goodbye has a price, and sometimes surviving is the bravest thing in life. Nobody knows the tears, but now I understand. They washed away the woman who was afraid to take a stand. I carried all those memories and turned them into years. I'm still standing here, stronger than my fears. Nobody knew the tears. So if you're hurting tonight, you don't have to hide forever. Some tears fall in silence, but they still wash the heart clean. The last time I loved you, I didn't know it was the last. I thought we'd have tomorrow. I thought the good days would come back. You were standing in the doorway with that sadness in your eyes, and I was holding on to something that had already said goodbye. Some endings don't make a sound, they just quietly fall to the ground. That was the last time I loved you, the last time I called you mine, the last time I waited for your footsteps at the end of the night. I gave you every piece of me until there was nothing left to prove, and somewhere between goodbye and forever was the last time I loved you. I kept your letters in a drawer for longer than I should have done. Sometimes I read them in the evening just to remember who we'd become. But time has a gentle way of taking yesterday away, and the woman who once needed you doesn't need you now to stay. I don't hate you for leaving, I don't hate myself for staying. That was the last time I loved you, the last time I called you mine, the last time I waited for your footsteps at the end of the night. I gave you every piece of me until there was nothing left to prove, and somewhere between goodbye and forever was the last time I loved you. If I could go back to that moment, I'd hold you one last time, not to make you stay forever, just to say we were once alive. Some loves are not meant to last, but that doesn't make them untrue. I'll always be grateful for the woman I became, loving you. That was the last time I loved you. And now I finally understand. Sometimes letting go of someone is how you learn to hold your own hand. I gave you every piece of me, and somehow I survived. The last time I loved you was the first first time I chose my life. The last time I loved you, I thought my heart was ending. I was wrong, it was beginning. You used to think I'd always wait, standing by your door, taking every little piece of love you didn't want anymore. I wore your silence like a dress and called it understanding. But a woman can only lose herself before she starts demanding. I don't need your apology, I don't need you to agree. I know my worth now, I know what I deserve. I won't beg for love that never learned to work. You can keep your promises, you can keep your pride. I've spent too many years standing on the wrong side. I know my worth now, and I won't compromise. I still remember how you kissed me, like the world was ours alone. Funny how the sweetest memories can turn into stone. But I don't carry anger, I've got better things to do. I'm too busy becoming the woman I never knew. I lost myself loving you, then I found something stronger and true. I know my worth now, I know what I deserve. I won't beg for a love that never learned to work. You can keep your promises, you can keep your pride. I've spent too many years standing on the wrong side. I know my worth now, and I won't compromise. A woman doesn't become strong because she never falls, she becomes strong when she finally stops answering the same old call. I know my worth now, and I wear it like gold. I'm not afraid of lonely nights, I'm not afraid of growing old. If love comes knocking, it better come with truth, because I've learned the hardest lesson a heart can never prove. I can love you deeply without losing me. way too. The rain is tapping on my window like it knows your name. The city lights are fading, but my memories stay the same. There's an empty chair beside me, where you used to sit and smile. Funny how a quiet room can take you back 1,000 miles. I thought I'd forgotten, I thought I was free, but midnight has a way of bringing you back to me. When the night remembers everything I try to forget, every kiss, every promise, every word I regret. I don't reach for your number, I don't ask where you are. When the night remembers, I can still feel my heart. There's an old song on the radio, we used to dance so slow. You held me like forever was somewhere we could go. Now the song sounds different, maybe I changed too. Sometimes the heart keeps a melody long after it loses you. I don't need tomorrow to erase yesterday. Some memories can stay and still fade away. When the night remembers everything I try to forget, every kiss, every promise, every word I regret. I don't reach for your number, I don't ask where you are. But when the night remembers, I can still feel my heart. Maybe love doesn't disappear, maybe it simply changes form, from something you hold in your hands to something that keeps you warm. I wouldn't go back, even if I could, because every broken chapter taught me what love should. When the night remembers, I don't run anymore. I let the memories come, then I watch them leave the door. You were once my everything, but you're not who you are. You're just a beautiful echo for the first time. I don't need you here.
I spent half my life explaining why I stayed when I should have gone, trying to make a broken love feel like something worth holding on. I wore forgiveness on my shoulders like a coat against the cold. But some things you call devotion are just stories you were told. Now I don't need an answer, I don't need you to understand. I finally made peace with a woman that I am. I've got nothing left to prove, nothing left to lose. I've walked through the fire, I've paid my dues. I don't need your love to tell me I'm enough. I've been broken, I've been bruised, but I've got nothing left to prove. I remember all the promises you made beneath the moon. We thought we'd grow old together, but forever ended too soon. Still, I wouldn't change the journey. Every tear became a stone, and I built a better woman from the pieces you left alone. I don't carry anger, I don't carry blame. Some lessons hurt like hell, but they change your name. I've got nothing left to prove, nothing left to lose. I've walked through the fire, I've paid my dues. I don't need your love to tell me I'm enough. I've been broken, I've been bruised, but I've got nothing left to prove. If you see me at the table with a smile upon my face, don't mistake my quiet heart for someone waiting to be saved. I've learned that real strength doesn't need to make a sound. Sometimes the strongest woman is the one who walks away proud. I've got nothing left to prove. I finally found my truth. Every scar upon my heart is a little piece of proof that I love, that more waiting, no more looking back. I've got nothing left to prove. I've loved like a woman with nothing to hide. I've cried in the darkness with nowhere to run. I've watched people leave through the years of my life and wondered how much more a heart could become. I gave away pieces I thought I would need. I stayed when I should have walked away. But every goodbye left a lesson behind, and every dark night made room for the day. Thought I was losing everything, but I was learning how to let go. I'm still here after all these years, after all the love, after all the tears. I lost some dreams, I lost some friends, thought I'd always be, but I'm still here. There are names I remember and faces I miss. There are moments I'd give anything just to live once again. But I don't ask the past to come knocking my door. I've learned that peace is worth more than what I was searching for. I don't need to be younger, I don't need to change my scars. Every year that I survived brought me closer to who I am. I'm still here after all these years, after all the love, after all the tears. I lost some dreams, I lost some friends, I lost the woman I thought I'd always be, but I'm still here. If you're listening tonight with a heart that's tired and worn, if you've loved somebody deeply and wondered why they were gone, don't be ashamed of your tears, don't be afraid of the night. Sometimes the broken heart is where the strongest soul comes to life. I'm still here, and that's enough for me. I don't need another promise to tell me who I should be. I've loved with all my heart, I've lost and I've forgiven, and after everything I've been through, I'm grateful to be living. I'm still here, still breathing, still believing, still singing. And if tomorrow takes
So turn the lights down, let the old piano play. I've got no regrets tonight, no one to blame, nothing to prove. Just this heart still beating.